Okay, hi. This is a video showing how to use the TVM worksheet to really, I think, simplify a very complicated problem involving changing interest rates. So here's what the problem is. So I think once you understand this, it's almost like magic that the TVM can cut through these problems. So here's the problem. Find the accumulated value of $2,620 at the end of 12 years if the nominal interest rate was 2% convertible monthly for the first 3 years, the nominal rate of discount was 3% convertible semiannually for the next 2 years, and the nominal rate of interest was 4.2% convertible once every 2 years for the next 4 years, and the annual effective rate of discount was 0.058 for the last 3 years. Okay, well, that's a way of not saying 5.8%. Okay, and with algebra, this would turn out to be 2620, and the first one is 2% convertible monthly, so you divide by 12, 1 plus 0.02 over 12 raised to the 36th power. When you get to the discount, that's semi-annual, and you have to use minus signs, and 4 is the number of half years, so in 2 years, and so forth. You keep going like that. So you can write it all out like this. And but I find that most people, when they're entering that in the TI calculator by algebra, they'll miss a minus sign or miss a number or something, and miss parentheses is common. So I would either use a computer algebra system where I could type it all out and check it before I enter it, or I would use the TVM. So here's how we're going to do it with the TVM. We're going to work it out phase by phase here. So let me turn my calculator on. And the first one, 2620, is the present value. So I'm going to put in 2620, and I'll just put it in as positive. So we have to do a couple of phases here. And the first phase is 2% convertible monthly. So we're going to work by months on this one. So I'll say 2 divided by 12 equals, so that's 0.1667%. And we're going to hit that in the interest rate. And then the number of months is 36. So we'll put that in N. And I'm ready to go to figure out the value at this point after one phase. And write those buttons down. So we have put in 36 for N. All we have to say is compute future value. And it's minus 2,781. Now I would interpret that as positive 2,781 and 87 cents. But we're going to keep going now. And then the next phase, we have to discount. And the thing is that we have talked about discount. It's like negative interest in reverse time. So we're going to leave the value here in the future value. Oh, sorry. Let me go back a step. Didn't want to show the answer. And we're going to, right, all right, so we have that. Oops, no, we do have the answer. Okay, so we're going to put in the interest rate, which is 3 divided by 2 equals, and we're not going to put that in as 1.5. We're going to put it in as negative 1.5 in the interest rate. So it goes in with a negative sign. And now the 4 we're going to put in as a positive because we're working from future value to present value. And so at this point, all I have to do is say compute present value. Whoops, I did not hit the compute, sorry. There it is, 2955.2372. And this shows that that's exactly what I got before. And so we have the next phase is interest, and the frequency is 1/2. So that means that over 4 years there are 2 periods. Okay, so here's how we're going to do that one. We're going to leave this in present value. We're going to say 4.2 divided by 1/2. So I would say 2 flip, or 1 over. So that's 8.4, and that goes into the interest rate. And the number of periods, if every period is 2 years, then 4 years is 2 periods. So that is 2, goes in for n. And at that point, we have the present value is already in there. You can see it's still in there, 2955. And so all we have to do is hit compute future value. And there it is, minus 3,472. So after the next phase, we're up to 3,472.57. And now think about it, how am I going to do the discount for the last one? And you could probably pause the video right now and get the answer out, but let me write down the buttons that we just did. So we did 4.2 divided by 2 reciprocal, and that's equal to 8.4. We put that in the interest rate, 2 periods, compute future value. Okay, so we now go to the last phase, and that's going to be 5.8% discount, and so that has to go with a negative sign in for the interest rate. And the number of periods is 3 years, so 3 goes in for n. And we already have the future value in there, so all we have to do at this point, let me write down the buttons again. Yeah, so we had the answer from before. So we're putting in 5.8 negative in for interest rate, 3 for the number of periods, and all we have to do is say compute present value. And that's our final answer. You can see that I got that before. The final answer is 4,154.30. If you count the buttons, you'll see that it's a considerable savings over typing all this algebraically. And it also kind of makes sense going back and forth across the TVM. Once you get used to it, you're not going to do algebra again, really. You may think the calculator is scary right now, but really, didn't you think algebra was scary at some time? All right, so that's it for this little video here, and I hope that was at least mildly entertaining. Okay.